right, welcome back to Redzone Rambling. This is Kyle Losser.
Kendrick Harrison.
And we're back
at
at
the fresh fade. Got the fresh shades. Bring you those fresh takes.
Fresh takes all day long. We're actually recording today, video, which is pretty cool. This is like
we got these pretty faces, so
yeah, we figured we capitalize on them. You know, that's a missed out market. So we're trying to exploit any option possible. The only podcast also brought to you by Tony Satchery's.
The best seasoning in
the
the
best
game.
seasoning in the game. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about again today. This is the Wednesday podcast on Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit behind, but listen, we're working out these kinks. So the first segment we like to call Making Moves. We're going to go over some of the big moves in the NFL this week, in which there were a lot. Trade deadline.
A lot of big moves.
That was Tuesday at 4?
Yeah, Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
Tuesday at 4 o'clock, so we'll hit pretty much everything that you need to know there. Then we're going to talk about, let's see, a fantasy fix is a segment we like to call, well, a fantasy fix, yeah. And we talk about like all fantasy, a few things you need to know fantasy.
Yeah. Couple starters, couple people to sit.
Right. Exactly. Nothing too detailed, but just something to kind of get you through the week in fantasy. And the last one we're going to wrap up with is a kind of a special segment, and we'll tell you more about that when we get to it. So
yeah.
We'll kick these things off with some making moves.
All right, so let's start with Kelvin Benjamin from the Panthers to the Buffalo Bills. What were your first reactions about that?
I originally didn't like it at all for the Panthers. I think that
none of the Panthers like it.
Yeah,
Cam Newton's pissed about it.
Everyone's angry about it in the Panthers organization. I think also Cam and Kelvin were pretty tight.
Oh, for sure, they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said like last week, so that there's no one he'd rather be in the trenches with. So.
Right. Dang, that's a bold statement.
Did you hear what Ron Rivera said about the trade? He said they did it because they want to bring more speed on the field. Which.
what did they bring?
I don't know. They didn't bring anybody in. Yeah.
What speed did they bring? I was disappointed that the Panthers made that trade. I thought that they kind of were finding a rhythm a little bit in the passing game. I thought Kelvin Benjamin was a big part of it. I know he led the he was leading them in receiving yards for sure, right?
Yeah, in receiving yards, yeah, because Greg Olsen's out, so
right.
I mean they're really limiting themselves there, especially Greg Olsen out. I mean Ed Dixon's been all right, but Kelvin Benjamin is just a huge red zone target.
Exactly.
6'5", so.
And I heard that's part of the reason that they didn't that they gave him away is because they already have Fun.
Yeah, Funhouse.
Yeah, Funhouse. Devin Funches, for those of you who don't know who we're talking about.
Yeah, but why would you not want that 1-2 punch? Like,
I don't know.
Because I really don't even know who the third receiver is.
Who says you can't have two big men?
Exactly. Like, so, I don't know who the other receiver is. I really can't even tell at this point.
So, I think Kelvin Benjamin going to the Bills for the Bills, though, is a good move. I like that a lot.
I think the Bills are legit this year. They're in kind of a rough spot in the division, and they have to beat out the Patriots for a playoff spot.
Right.
They are 5-2. I think they're playing well. I think it's going to help Tyler Taylor a lot because he really has no red zone help. And there, Charles Clay's injured. He was kind of one of their red zone threat.
Right.
Like I said, Kelvin Benjamin's 6'5", so that's definitely going to help a lot in the red zone.
And speaking of Charles Clay being injured, he's still leading the team in reception yards.
Yeah.
For 258.
So the Bills wide receivers, all the wide receivers combined, have 45 catches. And Kelvin Benjamin alone has 32 catches this year.
Right.
So those receivers are not getting it done.
No.
So it's obviously going to help.
But is that, I was just thinking about this, is that a problem with the Bills wide receivers? Is that a problem with the passing game? Because when Sammy was there, when Watkins was there.
I don't think it's a problem at all. They're not really a passing team, first of all. Like, you have LaShawn McCoy. He's going to run all over the place. Tyler Taylor's a mobile quarterback. But when, like, your tight ends are your leading receiver, I mean, so the wide receivers, they have Zay Jones as a rookie. He's more like, kind of playing in the slot. And, they got rid of Sammy Watkins. So it's been kind of, they had Jordan Matthews. He's gone in and out, which was a really high Jordan Matthews ball anyway.
Right.
But I think they're definitely a run-first team. So Kelvin Benjamin will definitely give them a different element.
Right. I think so, too. And, speaking of them being a running team, LaShawn McCoy leads them in receptions as well. He has 38 receptions. So,
yeah.
That's just another kind of fact to add. They're lacking in the
in the passing yards per game, they're 29th. They're only averaging 178 passing yards per game.
And they're 5-2, right?
And Tyler Taylor has 8 passing touchdowns all year.
They've only lost
2 games. Yeah. So they've been getting it done with really, really limited pass offense. So it can only help them. at this point, it really can only help them.
Right. I think they're gonna. I think the Bills are gonna. Bold
that's
prediction. I think they're gonna beat the Patriots for the division.
I definitely think they can. I think their defense has been really solid. I like Tyler Taylor. I always have. I like Kellen Benton too. That's my dude from FSU.
Yeah.
He won us the game, national
For
championship
real.
game. Caught it with like 13 seconds left. So I got
Unfortunately,
mad love for that dude.
Unfortunately, yeah, I like him too as a person.
He did come in this season a little
I was about to say
rotund. The boy was looking a little round.
Yeah, he was a little portly there, but
yeah, he's
he was
pretty
getting criticized a lot for that.
Yeah.
He's getting
The picture
criticized.
of training camp, he's just like he's still a little big.
He's a little big,
But that's
but
his
he can
thing.
move. He
Yeah.
can kind of move.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him. It's all, hey, if you're big and you can move, I'm all about it. So, yeah, he was also getting criticized for not staying healthy enough. He could never stay healthy. Remember, he was out for a big portion of it last year.
He did miss last year.
And so I think they were on him about that. He finally comes back. He's healthy. He gets in a rhythm with Cam Newton, and then they trade him.
That's such a weird trade. And like
It's
obviously,
weird.
no one in the organization other than management knew about it because Panthers players are like shocked.
Are mad,
on Twitter.
yeah.
It's so I don't know.
Right. It's like someone trading. Like it's like you coming home and your best friend who you room with is gone.
That does to me they have a lot of faith in Devin Funchess. So
True.
There's that.
True. They traded him for 3rd and a 7th. Though. Did we talk about that yet?
No, I honestly think that's fair. A 3rd and 7th this year.
A 7th to me means nothing. Like I would give up a 7th for almost anyone in the league. I think that's irrelevant in any.
Yeah, it's like a pick for building depth, but
right.
You never know. You always get those late gems.
Sometimes I guess, but what are the odds really that you're trading a late round gem? Like when have you ever said, "Oh man, they're gonna regret trading that 7th round pick"? Like that's never gonna happen.
But I would like to see. I don't know his numbers, but I think they were paying him pretty well. He was a 1st round pick.
Oh really?
So like for his, he's a good player, but I think for what he was probably getting paid, I don't think that production was there.
Yeah.
So
I bet the Bills aren't gonna pay him that much.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers. I don't think they released it, but yeah, I think the production he was supposed to put on, like he has been injured, but I don't think it's been up to par.
Right. Right. So we're steady making moves on the show. Making moves. That's what we do. Make moves.
Always.
This
Big
is
Sean moves.
Big Sean moves. And wait, so the trade deadline was on Halloween?
I guess so. Yeah.
It was trick
That's
or
probably
treat.
so crazy.
That's probably why
That's why
it's
it's
so
so
crazy.
crazy, yeah.
I'm just thinking that.
Trade deadlines are usually boring.
There's some juju going on around there.
Yeah.
No
Some
fish
hocus
usage.
pocus.
But
This next trade is hocus pocus. Definitely. J.
what?
So we
Look
know
at my face right now.
the special teams coach was doing cocaine.
For sure.
Their whole management team has to be
Who does
storing
that?
lines.
Who does that, man? It's ridiculous. Hey, and also Adam Gase made the comment, it's on the running back. Do your job. It's not hard to do. He said things like, we're trying to hit the home run ball too much.
He called his offense garbage. He literally called them garbage.
What are you
How
doing?
does that go over
What are you
in
doing?
the locker room?
What are you doing?
Like, calling team garbage.
I also heard, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that he was, because he obviously made these statements about JJ, that he needs to, kind of, in a sense, step his game up. It's on the running back, which I don't know how you can pin it all on him.
Yeah.
But he made these bold statements, and I heard by trading him, he was making a statement.
The wrong statement.
What? You trade him to the best? You trade him to the best team in the league? That's a great statement.
And it's not like, so there was a stat, so every time JJ had over 18 carries, they were 12-0. And
Right.
so he's had game like 12 carries, 13 carries, so like you have to get in a rhythm as a running back, first of all. He's like a power runner, so you kind of have to get into a rhythm. If you're getting 12 touches a game, like what do you expect? And
Right.
they were behind a lot, so they had to pass more. And with Matt Morris,
Yeah,
not
really
helping at all. But really, I don't
Matt
put this
Morris.
on JJ
You might as well suit
at
me
all.
up.
Like I don't put his bad season on him at all. Like their line has been great. Their offense is literally like last in the league. Their offense, what do we got? So their offense is last in like 250 yards per game, and last in points per game, 13.1.
Wow.
That's like it's not JJ's fault.
No, it's not his fault.
Like he's
at all.
had pretty solid games. He hasn't had a touchdown yet all year. But I haven't been in the red zone that much that year.
No.
And like he wasn't getting the carries. Like he's like a high value back. He kind of gets
For sure, he's a workhorse.
Yeah.
He's the workhorse of that offense for sure. And I don't think they're utilizing him properly. I think that the Eagles are going to utilize him properly. I think
It's ridiculous.
in that committee, it's going to be nasty. When you have, we were just talking about it on the last podcast, like we're like the Eagles running game. Like we totally forgot about LeGarrette Blount, by the way.
Yeah.
But they have Wendell Smallwood. They have LeGarrette Blount.
Corey Clement.
Garrett Blount is good, yeah, and Corey Clement. LeGarrette Blount is good. He has he averages 4.7 yards a carry, I believe.
Yeah.
And just a few weeks ago, he was averaging 5.
Yeah, I mean, those are like 5 yards out to Ajayi, whatever. He's a big dude. Same thing as he did in England.
But with that 1-2 punch of Ajayi, who the talent is there with him. Also, it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he had a fluke season. I mean, you have to when you run for
over 200 yards like 3 games.
In 3 games, whatever what he did last year. I mean, that's no accident.
But those defenders are gonna be hurting. The way J.J. runs and LeGarrette Blount, like anything,
it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Yeah. And not as if the Eagles weren't high-powered enough.
Yeah, and I think this really makes the Eagles really made a clear statement that they're going for the Super Bowl.
I think
they're already people were surprised this year how good they were. They have been really good, and everyone, even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people are like, "Are they a legit team?"
Right.
People now saying they're actually a legit team, and I think with this move, they're saying clearly that they're going for the Super Bowl this year.
I think so too, and I think they have a legitimate shot.
Yeah.
Just as good of a shot, if not better, than anyone in the league. The Dolphins did give up a 4th round pick for
I don't know.
Or no, they took a 4th round pick. My bad.
Yeah, they got a 4th round pick for J.J., which I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't know what's going on there.
That doesn't make sense to me. This is Halloween madness.
Yeah, it has to be
Halloween madness.
So your defense is already last in points per game, last in scoring, and then you're starting running backs, Kenyon Drake or Damian Williams?
All right. I will say this about Kenyon Drake. I think Kenyon Drake is good. I think listen, just hear me out now. I think Kenyon Drake can carry the load. I think he's a good back, and I think he's going to. I think the drop off is going to be a little bit, but I think the way they're going to build game plan around him is going to be. I don't know. I feel like they're more committed to Kenyon Drake than they are to J.J.
Because he was still getting 6 carries a game. If Adam Gase thought J.J. was really the problem, I think he would have phased him out or
probably
gave him Kenyon Drake more carries over. But it also depends on whether or not Jay Cutler comes back.
Yeah,
because they're on their 3rd string quarterback right now. Ryan Tannehill's out. They had Jay Cutler around Matt Moore.
Jay Cutler is horrible. Jay Cutler is so bad.
I just don't think he likes football. He always looks bored. He doesn't really care about football. Yeah. I think he moved to Miami because his wife wanted to be in Miami. He's just a party time. I don't know.
He just wants to smoke cigarettes on his balcony all day.
I really don't think he cares about football. Though.
I picture Jay Cutler.
He can still sling it.
I picture Jay Cutler wearing gym shorts all day around his house.
But that naked picture, his wife took, with his blood all hanging out the whole time.
That's art.
That is a soft picture.
That's art.
It might be that scene 300.
Oh,
he's just standing there in the door when it
comes out.
Just got his blood out there.
For sure.
That was great. So I respect Jay Cutler just for that.
Smoking Jay, man. Smoking Jay. He's a gunslinger. I will give him that also.
Because I just think he doesn't care. He'll just wing it.
He will. He'll throw it in triple coverage. He'll be the first one to throw it in triple coverage. Maybe him and Blake Bortles both, but I'm not going to go off on that rant today.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are way worse now. I think they're way worse.
Probably.
I think Adam Gase has really. I don't know if he split the locker room. I don't know if J.J. was actually in the locker room causing problems. It was clear that he did not like J.J., so it's probably best that he moved. They parted ways. But I really think just calling your team garbage after 2 weeks.
You can't do that. You just not do that. As a head coach. And to be honest, I kind of like that.
No, I think you can say that in the locker room. They say, you guys play like garbage. But when you're saying that to the media, and they have to see that on ESPN every day.
You cannot do it. You lose the locker room at that point.
Yeah.
That's the difference between saying it in the locker room and saying it to the media. You effectively lose the locker room.
And then just saying that petty, backhand stuff he said after he left. It was
right.
We didn't actually mention J.J. by name.
Right.
Like he wanted to talk crap after he already left. So.
Right. But,
I'm not done for that.
And I don't think you can ever put it on one single person. I think a lot of times we like to, but I don't think you ever can. And
they were, like I said, they were behind a lot. So, when you're behind, you're passing more. And so J.J. just wasn't getting carries. I don't know what they expected.
I think Adam Gase
was getting 13 carries a game.
I think Adam Gase and the Dolphins organization ate too much candy corn for Halloween and weren't feeling very good. By the way, candy corn, awful, awful, awful.
No. No, candy corn is one of the greatest candies of all time.
All right, speaking of Halloween, what's the best? What's the best? Harvest pumpkins.
Harvest pumpkins?
Are you serious?
Those thick pumpkins?
Are you saying you like those?
Yeah.
Continue.
I even like the brown
candy
corn.
Oh my god! Yeah, I don't know if I can continue with this. But so what's your favorite? If you had to pick one, we were
I'm digging around in my Halloween bucket.
Yeah.
I want that sticky Twizzlers.
Like
the Twizzlers in Halloween are always way stickier.
So
they're so sticky and strawberry. They're so good.
You would
get
like
those
that.
fat ones. You peel.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Hey,
whatever.
I'm loyal. To Twizzlers. They're my favorite candy outside Halloween. They're gonna be my favorite in Halloween.
Yeah, I respect the loyalty though. You know what I go for? The solid lemon heads, the big ones. You know, I'm not a little boy from the 1950s, but I love those lemon heads.
No, lemon-headed friends is where it's at. You get a little,
No way.
You get a little box of
You're just
lemon-headed
being
friends.
blasphemous now. You're just being blasphemous now.
I don't think so.
All right, so moving on to what do we have? Jimmy G now for 49ers. That's right.
Yeah.
For a second round pick. How do you feel about that?
I honestly don't think the Patriots care at all. Like, they really don't. I don't think they care at all. Like, they don't care about first round picks, second picks. I don't care. They obviously, I think to me that means they say Tom Brady's going to be around for at least another 3 years.
Yes, that's what that means.
Which people are kind of saying he might retire this year, maybe next year, even he might retire at the top. But I think he's going to play at least 3 more years.
He said he wanted to play 5.
Yeah, he said 5.
Do you think he can play 5?
Yeah.
Really?
Especially with that offense, like it's too easy for him. You know what I mean?
I've seen a drop off this year in his play.
I think with the system, it's just kind of too easy for him. Like there's nothing too complicated he has to do.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
And like he takes care of himself. Or like whatever. But
right. And I think like you said, by making that move, you're kind of saying
he's our due for season.
Exactly. Also, you don't have any backups right now.
They did. So the 49ers, they dropped Brian Hoyer.
Oh, that's right.
Patriots signed Brian Hoyer.
That's right.
Which he was a backup of the Patriots for like 5 years. So he already knows the offense anyway.
Right. So that was a smart move by Belichick.
Of course.
I think what they tried to do at the beginning, because remember they were shopping Garoppolo for a while.
Yeah, the 49ers actually were trying to get Garoppolo.
They did,
and
they wanted
there was
too much.
nothing happening.
Yeah, and same thing with the Browns. And I remember like the rumors were that they wanted a first and a second or something.
And you know they would have just traded those for something else.
For sure.
I don't think they have first round picks like the next 2 years.
Right.
Something crazy
Right.
like that.
Belichick is a good coach, man. I mean, there's nothing. So what does this mean for the 49ers, though?
So there was talk about not playing Garoppolo at all this season.
I like that.
Which is very smart. Like, don't let him get injured. The season's done. Like, who cares?
What are you, 0-7 or 0-8?
You're not gonna go 8-8.
No.
Like, you're not.
And if you do go 8-8, I don't even know who is in their division off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they're never in the running, so no. I'm just like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I like sitting them. Let him learn the offense from Kyle Shanahan, who was a really great offensive coach. Protect him, don't get injured, have him sign that big contract when you leave. Then you're still like a terrible team. Who do you pick up? You can pick up Saquon Barkley. You have a great run game.
See, that is
their defenses. I like their defense. This year they're young. They have young defense. We can talk about that later. But
every 49ers fan is salivating right now.
Yeah,
they might get Saquon Barkley and have Jimmy Garoppolo.
Every team in the NFL. But
but especially the 49ers because they have a legitimate shot. If they suck for Saquon, that's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
But I mean, would they put Hyde out like that? Because Hyde has not been horrible.
Hyde's he's averaging 4 yards per carry. But like it's kind of the same thing with them. They've been behind so long, so they're like passing more. They have a terrible pass game.
Right.
But I do like Carlos Hyde, and I think in this league now, I think teams are moving towards really having like 2 good running backs. You know what I mean? Like you think about like your run teams, they kind of not a committee, but
you're
like a clear number one and someone that's just like really solid behind them.
Right. You can't. It's almost like you can't
the Falcons did it. The Titans do it.
Right. You don't want to risk a running back pounding the ball solely for 4 quarters.
Running backs have like the shortest careers.
For sure.
It's awful.
For sure. So anytime you can reduce that, or to reduce the wear and tear on them is better, especially if you can get a really, really solid second string.
Yeah, if you have like, it doesn't matter who you have. There's like once in a decade talent like Saquon Barkley, you're gonna have to take them, even if you have Carlos Hyde.
Oh yeah.
And they might get guys for Carlos Hyde later down the line. You know what I mean?
And it's like kind of like the move like we were talking about Philly made. You know what I'm saying? Having that committee, not necessarily a committee, but I mean, actually, at this point,
a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch.
Right, it's probably going to be a committee at this point.
Yeah. So Jimmy G, so last year, the 2 games he played, he started 2 games last year.
Yeah.
He had 113.3 passer rating, 71% completion rate, and then he threw for 264 yards first game, a touchdown, 232 yards second game, and 3 touchdowns.
Right.
So it's a very small sample.
That's what I was going to say. That's
very
sample
small
size.
Sample. And when you think about past quarterbacks who've done that, so Brock Osweiler, you see how that turned out.
Yep.
Terrible. Same thing, Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
That really hasn't panned out too much. Matt Castle.
He had a full season. Matt Castle was different.
Yeah, Matt Castle and Jacoby Brissett were like under Tom Brady, under Belichick. They didn't really pan out.
But they played well in that system. They played really well.
So it's definitely
I
a big risk.
Matt Castle threw for over like 4,000 yards and like I want to say.
I'm talking when he left the Patriots. Though.
Oh yeah, I'm saying, but under that system though,
he did well.
He thrived.
Of course, he's gonna, that's the system.
Right. I'm just
like Jacoby Brissett did well in the system.
For sure.
But yeah, it's just a big risk. I mean, you saw what happened to Brock Osweiler, who, by the way, is going to start again this week. He's starting this weekend.
Wow.
He's starting back to
the bench.
He's the bench receiving. That's whole story.
Remember, like week 1 or 2, when everybody was saying Simeon was gonna he was like candidate for MVP, and stuff like that. Like what?
I think I even picked him up off waivers too.
Right.
But yeah, I'm interested to. I think Jimmy Garoppolo he seems like the most polished out of all those who come, like out the back. So we're talking Brock Osweiler, Matt Castle, Jacoby Brissett. He seems like the most polished out of them.
Oh yeah, I like him coming out of college.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good move when they were doing the Gruden's QB camp on like the breakdown of it. I remember looking at it and saying, this guy I think has the most. I didn't look at his stats too heavy or anything, but just watching him, like the film on him and watching him break down his stuff.
Looks good.
Good
looking
said,
dude.
Very
too.
polished. And good looking dude.
So you have Tom Brady over there, who's like an actual model, whatever. Married a model, he's a model.
Right.
Jimmy Garoppolo, like, he's got a superhero jawline.
Yeah.
Dude looks like a contestant on The Bachelor.
For real.
Like,
he might be on the next Bachelor.
Yes. He has to be.
So
the dude is too good.
Maybe that's the secret.
Yeah.
To Belichick's success. He just gets
get the jawline.
Yeah.
You gotta draft the jawline.
You draft the jawline.
I'm thinking about it. Like Wes Welker, he's got that jawline.
Got the jawline.
Gronkowski's the meathead. You said that just.
Julian Edelman.
Julian Edelman.
That's a good looking dude too.
As long as if they can look like they're on The Bachelor, then Bill Belichick's got it.
Oh yeah. And
Chris Hogan.
And that almost 100% of the time means they're white. Too. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess. I like the Jimmy G move for the 49ers. I think that everybody in that fan base, like I said, is going insane right now that they have a chance.
Do you think he plays this year, though?
I don't want him to play. And I don't think that John Lynch is going to let that happen.
I think John Lynch is smart enough to know.
I like John Lynch, too.
Yeah, John Lynch.
I'm big on John
Lynch. Is my dude.
I liked him ever since NFL Street. And I will continue to like him until I die.
Yeah. But, the 49ers have 6 passing touchdowns this year. 6 passing touchdowns in 8 games.
And I bet a lot of those. Look up how many of those came in that LA Rams game.
Yeah, that was a high school game. It was probably at least 3.
I bet they put 3 or 4. I looked that up for real quick, just to double check that, and I'll move on to the last really big, or not the last big. No. Also, let's talk about the Browns and how they botched. Did you hear how they botched that?
Typical Browns.
Can
you think of a more Browns thing to do?
I feel bad for them.
But here's the thing. So like the thing was, so they didn't fax the paperwork, right?
Right.
But the thing is, both teams they didn't have to turn the paper. All they do was email the NFL, and then they could have sent the papers later. And they didn't send the email.
I heard the front office left the day before when they were talking about the options. They left at 5. So the front office
you could have done the paperwork. They had up to 15 days to do the paperwork. They just had to send the email. That's
all they had to do. And then they tried saying, "Oh no, we sent it to the Bengals, and the Bengals sent it. We're supposed to send it away." That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. You each send something. Yeah, it's not on the other team to do that. They send in their paperwork, you send in your paperwork, and then boom, deal's done.
But it was for A.J. McCarron, who I really like A.J. McCarron, over there in the Bengals. I think he's just barely not less than Andy Dalton at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're kind of the same. But I feel like he's better than Kevin Hogan that they have over there now. DeShone Kizer, I think I would still give him another year. Like I was high on DeShone Kizer coming out of college, but obviously it hasn't really panned out. But so they had 2 passing touchdowns in a game. So other than that game, they had 4 passing touchdowns.
So he only had 2 that game?
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. I thought it was he scored 39 that game, so I just assumed that he threw for more.
But A.J. McCarron definitely would have helped the Browns. If anything.
Oh, I don't know, man. Browns, all they do is kill quarterbacks.
But it's not like they ever get decent quarterbacks, you know what I mean? It's not like,
I guess.
Like who they bring in.
You're right. I don't think A.J. McCarron's all that great, though.
Who's their best quarterback in the last 20 years? Like Jeff Garcia, I think.
I think the Browns are just in a tailspin that is almost uncorrectable at this point. I think they're so flustered. I think they saw the Jimmy G trade go down, and because that's what they said with like the 5 o'clock. They said everybody left at 5, and like there was no. That's why they kind of didn't pursue. That's the rumor going around. That's why they didn't pursue Jimmy G as heavy.
I wouldn't sign with Browns if I were him.
I wouldn't.
If you're gonna pick an 0-18, you pick the 49ers.
Right, but exactly.
And did you hear about Sam Darnold? So the quarterback from USC, he's like projected to be like the first round, like first quarterback on. And then people were saying that he had told people if the Browns had the first round pick, he's gonna stay in school another year.
Oh no way!
Because he does not want to go to the Browns.
No way. That's disrespectful right there. That's so disrespectful.
Which I get it.
I mean, let's look at what the Browns have done over the past. They have botched everything. It's just so bad. They bought out Osweiler's contract, the huge contract, didn't they?
They're still paying. I think they're paying for like $30 million out of that contract. He
From
doesn't even play for them. Yeah.
Why? And he didn't start him. He didn't have. It's almost like he didn't have any intentions of starting him.
No,
that whole front office needs to go, man. They're horrible. They are horrible. They ruined any opportunity for them to improve. This
I think
season,
there's not as much uproar about how bad the Browns are because they have the Cavs. You know what I mean? The Cavs like keep them relevant to sports city. They can always lean on the Cavs and be like, yeah, we're not bad. I think the Indians are right here or whatever.
Right.
But like,
the Indians.
Once LeBron leaves the Cavs, then
Done.
They're gonna hate everything about Cleveland. Like there's gonna be a lot of pressure on the Browns.
Speaking of Indians, we should probably do like a little segment on some baseball real quick. Cut to like a few little interesting stuff happening in the baseball
the
world.
World Series ended yesterday.
All right, and that's all we have for baseball. Who cares? Is the real thing. Who cares? So, Marcel, this is my Jags.
Yeah, talk about him.
Marcel Darius, boy. Is it Darius or Darius?
Darius.
Yeah, anyway, Darius. The point is, man's a run stuffer, 2-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Now, I'm not as high on this as most Jags fans, I will have to admit.
Yeah, he does have some, like, foolish stuff like that.
It's not even about that for me. For me, Avery Jones was our run stopper, okay? Can you put all this on Avery Jones? Has he played that bad? I don't think this was a necessary move, to be honest.
I think what they're going for really is heavy rotation on the line, because I think that's critical to like D-line success in this league. Like the teams you have like really monster D-lines who are getting a bunch of sacks. You know, you look at like the Chiefs, you look at the Texans, like we're getting a lot of sacks. Like
they have Houston.
Yeah, they have like a heavy D-line rotation, so they're always fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's actually what Telvin Smith was talking about. He was like excited to like get more people in the rotation because if you're fresh. As like, especially you have fresh pass rushers and like even run stoppers, like
you got to remember you're going up against O lineman who's played all games. Possibly
the Jaguars are going against good O line,
right?
Yeah, they play Titans twice. And that's a really good O line. That's a good run game. Mm-hmm. So you want to have as many fresh guys as you can have. So I like it just for the rotation.
I don't know if it was necessary. I think his contract was pretty big. I don't know the exact numbers, and I know we ended up taking it over. I don't know if that was completely necessary. I think maybe we could have went out and spent more money on, like Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
But how does that play into next season when A-Rod comes back?
Yeah, I don't think Kelvin Benjamin would have been that great of a fit for the Jags right now anyway. But, because they're definitely a run-first team too.
Probably.
But I think that does, just we're talking about the Eagles, they made a clear intention to go to the Super Bowl. I think the Jaguars are saying, like, we're going to, like, they've been spending money on defense heavy. Like, the past 2 years, they've brought in a lot of people. I think that's saying they're still committed to bringing in more people, bring high-level people like Pro Bowlers.
Right.
Calais Campbell was an elite Pro Bowler, probably the best free agent that was available this season. So I think that's really good for your organization, like saying that they're still out here going to spend the money. Shad Khan is splashing.
Right. So. And I think it's important to note that we are 3rd overall in total defense, right?
Yeah. What is the run defense?
Huh?
What is the run defense?
That's what I was about to tell you. The next stat is.
You got it.
And let's see if I'm right. Second to last is run defense.
Wait, so
but we're 3rd overall. So what does that tell you about our pass defense?
It's elite.
I mean, it is.
It's definitely top 3.
It's one of the best I've seen in a while. Yeah. So just double check me on that. I think it's second from the last. The run defense is.
All right. So Jags defense.
We're second to
so
South. That's
points. And so in points allowed first, only allowed 15.7 points.
Right.
Yards 300 yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
Passing first in passing defense, only 161 yards per game. That's
good.
ridiculous. I will say they haven't faced a lot of high-powered quarterbacks. They've faced good offenses, but high-powered quarterbacks they have not faced a lot. So I'm really interested to see how Deshaun Watson does.
I mean, Deshaun Watson played the whole second half and kind of shut him down.
Yeah, he did have a touchdown, and it's kind of he was thrust in there. I really think this next game will be a good measure when they play Houston again. But
I think Andy Dalton's a decent competition.
You were just talking about how Andy Dalton sucks. Andy Dalton sucks.
I mean, just because he has AJ Green and I would say more AJ Green.
Yeah, but I really think they haven't faced like a really high level quarterback yet. So
probably not.
They have faced good offenses. I mean, you saw what Jared Goff did. So I mean, they had a solid game. But so the rush defense last in the league.
That's after the bye, probably.
138 rushing yards per game.
So we're third overall, and we have last run defense.
So you have the best pass defense game, the worst rush defense game.
That's crazy.
And then first in points allowed. So that is still good. Even though they're getting a lot of rush yards, they're still not allowing a lot of scores.
Right.
So they have been really good in the red zone.
And you have to pass the ball in this league at some point.
Yeah.
And when it's really interesting watching the games because when teams are forced to pass, they're so scared to pass. You can tell they are.
Which it can be a lot to do with the run game because you can't pass against the Jags really that much.
Right.
So you're having to force to run a lot, and you know the Jags are going to have guys in the box because I think they have a lot of faith in their corners.
Right.
You know, to get a lot of single coverage. So it's weird to me that they're still last in rush defense.
Yeah. Yeah, those numbers might be skewed. Also because like things like the Jets game, like a couple fluky things happened there where he didn't get touched and he ran for 70 yards.
They have only given out 5 rushing touchdowns all year,
which is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're dead last. I mean, I don't think they're the worst.
Yeah, that's yards per game. That's yards per game. Because you only give up 5 rushing touchdowns. That's not bad. By the way, they've only given up 4 passing touchdowns all year.
That's insane. They're so good, man. They're so good at the pass. The Jags, man, they I think that a lot of the issues, or not the issues, but yeah, with the run game, are the defensive line are pinning their ears back going for sacks. I think that's it. They're running upfield. I think that's what coach tells them a lot of times. They say, look, we want you to, like I said, pin your ears back and just go down, run downhill and hit that quarterback. That's what you need to do. Get after him.
So who the Jags play? The Jags play the Bengals this week, right?
Yeah, play the Bengals.
So
at home, so we're gonna lose because we can't win a home game.
So the Bengals have a really good running back in Joe Mixon. He's really shifty. They haven't really showcased it a lot because he's still kind of doing that rotation with Jeremy Hill, Gio Bernard. So I think this will be a good gauge for Derek to see the impact that he makes. Joe Mixon I think he's a lot better off the catch, which I'm not sure if the Jags are. I mean, they have fast linebackers, so they're pass catching.
Yeah, Jack and Telvin. So,
but Jeremy Hill is kind of like that, kind of straight up rusher. So it'll be interesting to see how the rush defense holds up against the Bengals.
For sure. Is there anything else you want to talk about in the Make a Move segment?
I'm talking about Dwayne Brown. That's the kind of that unsexy pick that went under the radar. But I think that might be the most important trade of this year. So Dwayne Brown's a left tackle. He comes from Houston, went to Seattle. And we talked about Seattle's line is awful. It's one of the worst in the leagues. Yeah. And Russell Wilson is still out here balling. Like every year, Seahawks kind of start slow. Like they're picking it up now. They're making that playoff push. But they still only won they've only lost 2 games, right? They're 5-2.
I think they're 5-2.
So the offense is picking up with just a terrible line. Like Russell Wilson really has no time. This man has no time at all. He's always scrambling.
And he's still hitting the deep ball.
He's the best. I think he's the best scrambling quarterback. Like it's just mobile, just so
mobile quarterback.
Like, stretches plays. Like because he has to every play.
Yeah,
he makes accurate throws from it.
I think Big Ben in his prime was really good at evading pressure and moving in the pocket. I think Aaron Rodgers is phenomenal.
That kind of came in the same territory because they had a terrible line. He was getting sacked.
Right, exactly.
I think Russell Wilson has the most sacks.
And a few years ago, that's how Aaron Rodgers what he was doing. He was eluding in the pocket.
And now they have a lot of design bootlegs from stuff like that. But I think Russell Wilson has probably some of the best mobile pocket presence, in the game. So they get a left tackle, which tackles are like the most important part of the line. But you get a left tackle. And he's a 3-time Pro Bowler who's going to come in there, and I think he makes the line better, like, immediately. They're going to be able to run a little bit better, which even if you can just run a little bit better, that's going to make Russell Wilson that much. It's and
he's got the best deep ball in the game too. I mean, like even though he's on the run, he still finds time somehow, like you were saying.
And his receivers are really good coming back to him like that.
Oh yeah,
but
they're a smart team.
But they have so much faith in this too. Russell Wilson is like, he's like a super good dude.
Oh yeah.
So like he reworked his contract. It took $4 million less so they can sign Dwayne Brown.
Oh my god.
So
this guy, he's a cornball.
So he took less money so they could get Dwayne Brown. So that kind of tells you like how much faith they have in Dwayne Brown and how much they needed that on the line. because they really only spent money on defense the past few years. But I think low key that is the best trade.
Really?
I think that helps Russell Wilson a lot, and it helps the running game a lot.
I think.
And Russell Wilson took a pay cut for that man. So
he's a cornball. He is a cornball.
He is. You see his costume, by the way?
Yeah,
Pete Carroll. That was pretty solid.
What did you dress up for this year?
You know, I was a sugar daddy. I had a baby carrier with a bag of sugar in it.
That's the way you got it right there. I was red car, you know, with a classic onesie.
Yeah.
What's the best? I'm trying to think of some good costumes I saw out there. I saw some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
I saw an astronaut. He had it looked like he was straight from NASA. Like his dad probably worked at NASA. That was solid.
He probably just went to space camp.
Right. It's like way too small. It's like coming up to his knees. He went when he was like 5. He's still trying to wear it.
Space capris.
Right. Space capris. Also, shout out NASA. And if you want to capitalize on space capris, you got to come through us first.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of a market that you've been looking to get into.
Right now.
We're also looking to get a patent on space capris.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Halloween was awesome though. I liked it. I got more into Halloween than I did in previous years, which is cool.
Oh, we did the house up too.
We did the house up. And it's still up.
Yeah.
Days after Halloween, we have rotting pumpkins hanging around the house just for the ambiance, you know.
Yeah.
Setting the stage.
Oh, I saw a really good Ric Flair around too.
Oh, did he have the whole coat on?
Yeah, he had the official coat with like the fur and Nation Boy in the back.
Ooh.
He was wooing. It was dope.
He was wooing. That's better be the only thing he says all night.
No words, just
like,
woo.
what do you want to drink, sir? Woo! Sir, can
just
I get you
on the chest?
Woo! Yeah. Sir, no, I'm just trying to figure out. Woo! All right,
fine. On the dance floor, put her in the figure 4.
Yeah, exactly. You see the 30 for 30 coming out on him?
That's gonna be.
That's gonna be amazing.
That's
gonna be
awesome.
amazing. We need to get Nathan Tuberville. Shout out Nathan Tuberville.
Who was Shawn Michaels for Halloween?
Who was Shawn Michaels for Halloween? To do a segment we like to call Turbo's Turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll go over some WWE news. WWE. So, what you think? You want to move on to some fantasy?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So, I just have a couple starters. First off, Christian McCaffrey. If anyone's going to benefit from Kelvin Benjamin leaving, it's Christian McCaffrey. The dude, especially if you're in a PPR league, he has 49 catches. So that's so halfway the season, he's already on pace for 98 catches as a running back.
Yeah.
There's receivers who don't get that.
That's insane.
So he has more catches than Julio Jones. He has more catches and more yards than Des Bryant. Has more catches and more yards than Jordan Nelson.
Really?
So, yeah. So if you're in
Des
PPR,
Bryant?
Yeah, more than Julio Jones, Des Bryant, and Jordan
Julio
Nelson.
Jones makes sense because I don't know what's happening to him.
They've had some bad juju.
I think he's been upside down in the offseason.
But yeah, so those are 3 high profile receivers. He's doing better than, especially in PPR like me. I have him on PPR team, and he got at least 16 points a game. So he had a game 12 catches, a game of 10 catches, 8 catches. So,
right.
But yeah, so Kelvin Benjamin he's definitely gonna get more looks. He hasn't had a game with less than 4 catches, and he's also he can run between the tackles. They just been having Jonathan Stewart do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart has been vulturing a couple touchdowns. But Christian McCaffrey is an explosive player, and just PPR alone, his stock is going up. So I really think you gotta start Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. I think.
I'm also going to go. Oh, you got something.
Yeah. I want to talk about Jay real quick in terms of fantasy. I had mixed feelings about it, coming in to this segment.
I have him on my team. It's been awful.
Yeah, I know it's been kind of rough for fantasy owners everywhere, but I think right now is the time to sell them. I think you can get higher than you would. I think people were trying to shop them. Yeah, I think shop them now. And I think people who were trying to do that earlier and they weren't getting any bites because the performance was so low, now you get a little bit extra incentive. Maybe you can capitalize on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if I was trying to trade for Jay, who I would give up for Jay. I really don't know who I would give up for.
I mean, if you're really big, if you
really need to write,
if you look at it on paper, Jay to the Eagles, who have a good rushing attack, they're not all pass. They're top 10 rushing.
They did
just
top 5. Jason Peters.
True. But they're a top 5 rushing attack. Nonetheless, I don't think it's going to drop off that much. And they're a top 5 passing attack, so it opens up. They might be a top 6 or something passing. But and then he's in that committee.
That's the big thing. Is LeGarrette Blount, Vulture, touchdowns. That's the biggest thing because he doesn't have a touchdown all year. JJ.
Yeah, but I think he could. I think that you could convince someone enough
Right.
to give you maybe if I'm going to reach here, maybe a Chris Thompson.
That's tough.
And I would go for that all day. If I'm trading J.J., I think maybe you could get Chris Thompson for him.
I think Chris Thompson has outscored J.J. every single week
For sure. Absolutely.
But, if you can sell somebody on like the Philly hype, which I think there are people out there, then
do it for sure.
Yeah.
And Blunt's, like I said, this is another reason.
I'm definitely gonna try to shop around J.J. I don't know what I would get for him, but I feel like I'm pretty solid on my other running back. So.
Right. And just more reason to shop him is, like I said, Blunt's averaging 4.7 yards a carry. He's doing his thing out there. I don't ever see J.J. completely taking over that lead back role, at least for the rest of the year. He might eventually grow to be the feature back.
That is his team. That's his team next year. I don't think Blunt's going to be there next year, so that'll be his team for sure.
True.
But it's just this year.
I think this year it's going to be a little bit more of a split workload. I don't think he's going to see his high volume carries, and we see when he doesn't have high volume carries, he doesn't be very productive. Yeah.
He's like an old diesel truck.
Exactly. You got to get up and rolling, man. Exactly. It's like when you have the old trucks and you can't start it, so you have to pop the clutch when you're running. Like if you're running, push it, pop the clutch. And
you got to crank J.J.
Right. Exactly. You got to get him going. So that's really all I have to say. I think it's a good time to sell J.J. I know some people, at least in my fantasy league, have been trying to sell him for a while.
Yeah,
and
I've had to start him every week. It's just
right. No one's going for it. So I think now is boom. I think you can get something off the hype.
Okay. And so I got a little. I don't know if you still call him a sleeper, but I got Cooper Kupp. Starting Cooper Kupp. He's playing my team, the Giants, who have been struggling. Yeah. So another reason to start him is so Jack Rabbit is suspended. Our best cornerback, Janoris Jenkins, who wouldn't be covering anyway, but that just means the other receivers, DRC is going to step up and take the number one receiver. So Sammy Watkins, he's going to get Sammy Watkins. So down the pecking order, Cooper Kupp in the slot. We don't really have great slot cornerbacks. So I think Cooper Kupp is going to be the player, aside from Toggle, of course,
right?
Who's going to run rampant on the Giants. So apart from him, I think Cooper Kupp is the dude to start for the Rams. The Giants have the 27th ranked pass defense already, and then like I said, you take away our best quarterback, so it's not going to be pretty. So I think Cooper Kupp slides in there. He has 3 or 4 touchdowns this year. He has pretty good chemistry with Jared Goff, so I think that's the dude you got to put in there, kind of under the radar.
I'll be on Cooper Kupp.
Plus, I just love that name. I love saying it.
Exactly. I think he's a good option. I think he's going to be good long term.
So I got 2 solid technical white guys for starting.
Right. Good one.
Diversifying your fantasy team.
All right, so I'm going to go with a guy who's kind of on a hot streak with his quarterback, and that's Austin Seferian-Jenkins, and ASJ for short, so I don't have to say that name over and over again. So Josh McCown, like I said, has been on a hot streak.
Hawkeye.
He's been killing it. Yeah, Hawkeye, like we said.
He loves Jenkins too.
Reference.
He had 3 games of touchdowns in a row.
Yeah. Yep. He has 3 of his 4 last
because he missed
outings. He had touchdowns. And what I like to look at is targets. So he's 8th in targets among all tight ends, and
that's missing.
And that's missing exactly. And he's also 3rd in catches in tight ends.
Right.
So he's getting the ball a lot. He might not have the yards that we are looking for,
The touchdowns are there.
But the touchdowns are there, and what I like to look at more than anything when I'm looking at receivers and tight ends is how many targets are you getting? Yeah. How many times is your quarterback looking your way?
Exactly.
You have that chemistry. And we see that with Terrell Pryor in Washington. I thought he was going to be something big, but look, he's not getting any looks. He's not getting any targets. He's not touching the ball.
Yeah.
So I think with ASJ, this is a
and
must start.
The Jets is that they're behind a lot, so they're passing a lot.
Oh, for sure. They're behind a lot. They're throwing the ball a lot, and once again, Josh McCown is on a roll.
Right. So last week I have for fantasy fix is just so got to sit Kelvin Benjamin. It is still kind of 50-50 whether he plays or not. He's playing tonight. He's playing Thursday night game. He just got there 2 days ago, so he doesn't know the offense. It's not. He won't probably get a full snap count anyway. So even though I think Kelvin Benjamin will be good the rest of the season, this game you kind of got to sit him. It's a short week.
Yeah.
So don't get caught up in the hype.
I think that's it too. I think that's about all you can say for that.
Yeah, it's a short week. Overall, I think he'll do well there. I think that helps Tyler Taylor a lot. but 2 days in a new team.
Right.
I mean,
Another thing about ASJ is the Bills averaged 4.6 yards given up against opposing tight ends. Or 4.6 yards, not 4.6 yards, 4.6 fantasy points.
okay.
So almost 15 fantasy points they're averaging to the opposing tight ends.
Yeah.
So, and the Bills are playing on Thursday Night Football tonight, the Jets. So we'll see how that goes. I think ASJ is a must start and pretty much a must pick up.
Yeah, I picked him up off the wires when Jordan Reed was injured in those games. Those games where he had 3 touchdowns in a row, so I was happy with that.
Oh yeah, got you.
Solid.
So moving on to the last segment of the day, and we're gonna kind of post this clip as a little bit of a teaser for the podcast. So if we're kind of going off the rails a little bit and it seems a little bit showy, it's just because we're gonna post it to Facebook as a video, just this isolated clip. So just hang in there. So this is a segment we like to call Whatcha Sellin.
What you selling?
Yep.
Yeah.
What you selling? Basically, the name of the game is I will give my fine co-host Kendrick.
Fine like wine.
Yeah, don't get carried away.
Black lavender, black magic, brown sugar.
I'll give him this week it's teams. So I'm going to give him an organization in the NFL, or it could be in college, and you have to sell me on it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to make this as difficult as possible. I'm going to give him the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when we're done, if you guys want, just comment below and tell us who you think sold it better.
Who are you gonna buy?
Right, who are you going to buy?
All right. Let me put these shades on.
Do it.
Let me
Do it.
All right. So you gave me what? San Francisco 49ers?
San Francisco 49ers.
I thought you said you
The
were going to
0-7.
0-8.
0-8. I'm sorry, I didn't want to shortchange them.
Yeah.
0-8.
Okay. Here's the thing about 49ers. This is an investment. This is
Okay.
the perfect investment. This is buy low, sell high.
Okay.
Sell high. Okay. So let's talk about the most obvious thing we already talked about today, Jimmy Garoppolo. So this is what I'm saying. They're a team for the future. So even if he doesn't start this year, they go 0-16, they get Saquon Barkley. Like, so it just adds even more to it. So they have their franchise quarterback now. You have Kyle Shanahan, who you saw what the Falcons did last year on offense. He left. Look what the Falcons are doing this year on offense.
Right.
They're doing nothing. Julio Jones has 1 touchdown all year. So obviously Kyle Shanahan knows his stuff. So you have franchise quarterback Kyle Shanahan and my dude John Lynch. Okay, John Lynch might be the greatest general manager in football already in his first year. This dude fleeced the Bears. He finessed the Bears in the draft. So if you don't remember what happened in the draft, John Lynch, the 49ers had the second round pick, or the second pick overall. Bears had the third. They said they wanted to get a quarterback. They wanted to get one later, and so they let it go, kind of out in the ether that hey, we're gonna
They kind of let out this leak that
we're gonna get Mitch Trubisky, and the Bears wanted Mitch Trubisky so bad.
Right.
So they gave up way too much to move up one spot to take a player that the 49ers were never gonna get. So the 49ers still got the player they wanted later. They also got another pick from the Bears, and the Bears had already spent $45 million to sign who? Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon. Who was benched, by the way.
Mike Glennon. So he fleeced them there, and then he gets Jimmy Garoppolo, which is an amazing move. Like, obviously, we still don't have a lot of tape on him, what he's gonna do, but all the signs are there for him to be the franchise quarterback. And then so we also have on offense he has Garcon, who's already on pace for 1,000 yards per season. Goodwin runs a 4.2.
Oh yeah,
so
he's got Olympic speed.
And like you said, Carlos Hyde is a good running back. He's been doing well, 4 yards per carry. And so they had a little stretch there where they lost 5. Obviously they lost every game, but 5 games in a row they lost by 3 points or less. So they are right there.
Yeah,
they are right there.
But they are on 8.
Yeah.
So
but they're gonna win this week. They play Arizona.
Okay.
Who has to start?
Whoa, hold on, back up. They're gonna win this week.
They are gonna win this week.
Okay.
They're playing Arizona, who has to start Drew Stanton, who went 5-14 with an interception. They're gonna be Arizona this week. So they're already on the rise. But this, like I said, this is an investment. You are investing in the 49ers. If there's any team to invest in right now whose stock is their stock is low right now.
Right.
And I think they're at least a 5-win team. They're at least a 5-win team next season. Like, I'm interested to see what John Lynch brings to them in the draft over the offseason. So definitely buy low, sell high in 49ers. Like,
all right, hey, you might have sold me. So what you got for me? What am I gonna sell you?
let's go with the Colts. Let's go with the 2-6 Colts.
2-6 Colts.
In your division.
I know, in the AFC South, the most competitive division in all of football. No. So the Colts, I think that's a hard one to differentiate whether the offense is really bad or the defense is really bad. But I'm going to go with a couple good things here. They've only, like the 49ers, so they have 2 wins, but they've lost 2 games by 3 or less points.
Yep.
They could easily be 4-4 right now. And they played 8 games, so they could easily be 4-4 right now, which puts them in contention for the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that far-fetched, considering that they are 2-6 right now. The turnover ratio is +2 on them, so they are making plays on defense, even though they're giving up a lot of yards and they're on the field a lot of times. I think that Brissett has to be consistent, and I think he can be consistent. I think that Chris Ballard, the GM, did a good thing by signing him, and he made a move.
Yeah.
Like letting the Colts know, the organization know that, hey, we're going to try to win games. We're not going to come out here and just wait until Luck gets back and lose every game. Exactly, and Scott Tolzien was benched in too. They said, and they made another example of them making a move, making a quick move. So I think that Chris Ballard is someone who can for sure. I know they just hired him this past year. He can for sure lead the Colts to prominence. I wouldn't say completely within the next year. I don't think they're going to magically improve this year, but they have the talent and they also have the weapons on offense. That's another point.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack. This guy came from USF and is the leading rusher in USF history.
Yeah.
Am I correct? Yeah. So he is an extreme talent. I know they have Frank Gore up there, but that's your back of the future, I believe. And I think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, for sure.
I think T.Y. Hilton is a tremendous talent as well. And I think when you have Andrew Luck back and all those pieces are there, there's a lot of things that you can do. So I think Colts are a couple wins away from being 4-4 and being in the hunt with the division. I think that they're only going to improve because they have a young Marlon Mack. T.Y. Hilton's got some years left, and Andrew Luck is coming back. So
yeah, I'm not sure if he's coming back this season, but that'll definitely make a huge difference. The defense is kind of suspect though.
Defense is suspect. They haven't really forced a lot of turnovers. They haven't, Devontae Davis only has 2 pass deflections this entire season. So the defense is a little bit suspect, but if they can score enough points and if they can just tighten it up a little bit on defense, I think their offense is high-powered enough to, get them a few extra wins this season. So next year, I think is looking good for the Colts.
I think they have a good coach too. I like Pagano.
Oh, Pagano's not bad. I think their organization is making the right moves. It's just a matter of bad luck and timing.
Yeah.
So they'll get it together eventually.
They have to.
Yeah, and that's all we have really for
Redzone
Rambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you guys comment and see who you want, what you're selling.
You buying the Colts, you buying for it.
You buying the Colts, you buying the 49ers.
I think
it's pretty obvious that you're buying the Colts. So also, I'm going to post a link right up here, in the empty space. It might be down here.
You go up here.
It might be over here. It could be anywhere. And that's to the whole podcast. This is just a clip off of it. So we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you guys on tomorrow because we did a Wednesday podcast on Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's it, man.